Good evening. My name is Gene Randall. I live in Belfast, and this is an update on ban the plastic bag in Belfast activities since we were here last October the 4th, sorry. We've had a number of community outreach efforts so far, spoken to about 200 customers at the co-op and the farmers market, and by far the majority of people we've spoken with have been enthusiastically in favor of our plan or hope to ban plastic bags in Belfast. I'll provide a handout with a lot of the individuals' comments after I'm finished here in a few minutes. Future outreach program is being planned at the library on December 1st. We hope to be able to get a scientist from MERI, the research group over in Blue Hill, to come and speak to us, and we're going to also have a speaker from Natural Resource Council of Maine. And our goal, of course, is to educate the public on the growing hazards of plastic in the environment. Business outreach, we have met with more than a dozen local business owners and or their managers, and groceries, convenience stores, so on and so forth. By far, again, most of the people are in favor of a ban on plastic bags, and most of them say it won't affect their business very much. We had a concern voiced that the ban on single-use plastic bags would increase their costs, and I reassured them that our hope, anyway, is to allow them to charge for a alternate paper bag if a customer doesn't bring a reusable bag. And that seemed to be a satisfactory resolution. Another owner was at first vehemently against the idea of banning plastic bags. And after a brief overview of how plastic is getting into our food chain, he changed his mind. And now he wants to be known as the first business to adopt the ban on plastic bags, and we're happy to hear that. Facebook page continues to accumulate views and likes. And a couple of our team members met with Councilor Harrison and bring him up to date. I think he was absent last meeting. And we particularly appreciate your comments and have adopted some of your suggestions into our proposal. So thank you.
Thank you.
We applied for several grants to fund a reusable bag program. It's our goal to distribute reusable bags to WICS or SNAP participants and to elderly people at the food cupboard and the Spectrum Generations area. So far, we have received $1,000, two $500 grants, one from NRCM and the other from the New England Grassroots Council. Funds, again, will be primarily used to construct and distribute reusable grocery bags. Another handout that I've got prepared to give you tonight is that we, as a group, sat down and decided what we would like to see or hope to have happen, and we've listed that on what we would call a position paper. And we also defined our terms in that position paper, and I've got that handout tonight as well. This was developed from our review of all the ordinances that have already been passed in the state of Maine, Falmouth, Freeport, Kennebunk, Portland, South Portland, and York, and we think we've taken the best elements from each of those ordinances. Finally, in an effort to further this discussion, we have taken a stab at drafting some ordinance language. We're not trying to tell anybody what to do here. We're just trying to further the discussion and have something to talk about, because we would love as a group to get with any or all of you in a work session or whatever you deem is appropriate to help us move this project forward. I thank you for your time, and if there are any questions.
Walter. Right?
Yes.
So last time we were looking at the information, or at least the last time I'd read it, there was a discussion also about that it wouldn't necessarily be a ban, but that it would also maybe be like a 5-cent charge or something like that for a bag.
Our hope is to ban plastic, the single-use carry-on. In fact, I meant to bring one. The kind of bag, and I'm not picking on Hannaford's, but the kind of bag you'd carry a groceries home from Hannaford's. our hope is to be able to ban that bag completely and allow the retailers to offer a paper bag if customers come in and don't have anything to carry their groceries out, or a paper box or whatever. But if they offer them a paper bag, we would hope to offset their cost with the increased price of that item by letting them charge a minimum of 5 cents for that bag. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I handed it to you without
Walter?
taking one. Thank you.
Just a thought, and this is geared to you all and also to the radio station people. Both groups are doing fabulous work. You're to be congratulated for all this effort, and thank you for that. But I heard from both of you that you had, I think I heard this correctly, set up tables at the co-op to spread information. The whole of Belfast does not revolve around the co-op, even though it is a fabulous institution over 30 years in Belfast, but it is only a segment of the population in Belfast. And I would hope that as you're doing such good research and work and putting in so much effort, that you would go beyond the world of the co-op to maybe being a table outside Hannaford.
Good point.
You know,
Good point.
let's just think about the whole community if we're going to do something this drastic.
You have a good point. And I think that we probably realized that we were kind of preaching to the choir at co-op.
Yeah.
But we wanted to have a good first experience in our exposure to the public. And and I do believe that we're going to get some more sincere objections, or hear more of the
I would
objections
expect,
at our,
yes.
at our public meeting on the December 1st. And we're prepared for that, but we also have a strong desire and a belief that this is an important issue, and that this is an important first step to get a ban on
Right.
plastic
And
bags.
change is always met with resistance. You're doing a fabulous job of the legwork in the background out there, but it needs to be broadened.
Good point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Walter.
Oh,
Yeah, I just wanted
I'm
to say, I wanted to make the point that as a council person, I really like the approach of this group to the council and the community. I don't want to say it's a soft sell, but it's not, you're handling this very well.
Yeah.
Your approach. I also, and since you're handling it so well, I feel as a council person that we need to be preemptively thinking about this to past your public meeting, to what it might look like and what it might entail. Because when I read about the biochain or whatever, that's when I was like, geez, you know, and because when I think of plastic, I think about all those square miles in the ocean that are all mopped up with plastic debris, but it's here. So, and then, you know, I just wanted to say personally, today I went over to Universal Bread and got bread for my wife's shop. It's in paper. My wife has never entertained using plastic and she uses paper. The co-op, I got lunch there today, and they gave me a bag way too large, but it folded up because it was paper. And so I think it is time for us all to be thinking about what to do. But I just wanted to compliment you guys on your thoroughness and your steadiness of how you're going about it.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mary, because I'm sitting here thinking the exact same thing. Go, you got a really good response at the co-op. You're not going to get that response at Family Dollar. Okay, so and you got to need to get out there and make the case to the whole community. So I appreciate Mary bringing that point up. I would like to ask you to, I'm going to praise you and ask for further efforts in the area of, you talked about getting these grants for like people on SNAP and things like that. I have one, I've looked this all over very carefully, and I find I have one valid objection, I think, that I have heard, and that is, we have low-income people, seniors, people without transportation. And in January and February, they're walking to the store and buying groceries and walking home. And they prefer plastic
Or handles.
because it has the handles, because it's waterproof, And when they're, in the winter weather and that's the one, and of course, the answer to that is to get them the reusable cloth bags. So, I'm very supportive of this, and more so if I see that aspect of it vigorously pursued. So thank you for thinking in that direction.
Well, to that end, we're still applying for several more grants, so that $1,000 that we have raised so far, hopefully will grow considerably, and we can accommodate everybody who needs one, or two, or three bags. So I don't,
Excellent work, thank you.
okay.
A friend was just visiting me from Vermont, reminding me that I think it's New Hampshire has no bottle deposit. And so you find bottles all up and down the road. And so if we're waiting for everybody to jump up and down and say this is a really great idea, like everybody, it's not going to happen.
Right.
In the end, this is going to come down to a judgment call by the council. And I hope we're not just sending them off to keep gathering more and more information with no intention of, maybe taking that leap ourselves, because in the end, that's who it's going to come to, is us. If you left it up to the people of Belfast, we'd still all be going up to the dump up on up on the Pitcher Road, They were not going there because people had to make a decision that it wasn't working anymore. And I understand that a nice plastic bag, even though I carried a paper bag to school for many years, and I can remember, what I really remember is brown paper bags as garbage bags, how well that worked. But
Not so much.
anyway, so thank you, and it'll be a interesting decision when the time comes.
John?
Thank you. I did very much enjoy our time visiting with Ernie Cooper and Anita King the other day, and I learned a lot, and I think we had a great time of sharing of ideas. My younger brother lives in Freeport, and I know that they had a vote about this last year town-wide. I was wondering what the process was in the cities. Freeport's a town, I believe, as opposed to a city, I think. I'm not sure, but was wondering whether city councils made decisions in Portland and South Portland, or whether those were taken to the voter.
Good question. I'm believing that the city councils made those decisions.
If you could check on that, that would be great.
Okay, I'd be happy
Thank
to.
you.
I'll get back to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.